Storygram Network.
If you would like It's Not About Food podcast a week earlier and ad-free, please support me on patreon.com/It's Not About Food. Hi, my name is Laura Lee, and this is It's Not About Food. So it's not about food, and it's not about weight. What is it about? Everything else, because it's never ever about food or weight. Never ever, not even one time, not ever, ever, ever. Hello, everyone. This is Laura Lee Rourke from It's Not About Food podcast. And today we're going to be talking about gratitude. And because of, the holiday coming up, so it's always a good time of year to be thinking about, am I grateful? What am I grateful for? What is gratitude? So I don't know that we'll answer all of those questions, but we will talk about the body love card, which is trusting the process. So just for me, when I was struggling with my eating disorder, I had no idea that there was going to be a process of recovery, that I would be able to go at my own pace. I could let things unfold. I always thought of recovery was like a diet where I would go on recovery and 10 days later, I would be done. And that is not the way that it is. There is a process, and we'll talk about that. But as I got through it, there was a lot of gratitude about it. And as I got through it, at the end, well, there's not really even an end. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm still like, I wonder if I should have another cookie. But I don't beat myself up for even the thought of that. And that's a miracle right there. That's a lot to be grateful for. So trusting the process is about, and I'll just read the card, recovery from body hatred and disordered eating provides many layers of learning that unfold uniquely and spontaneously. Trusting the process means that we all work through these experiences and issues at our own pace and in our own way. We can trust that our process is exactly right for us, and we don't have to waste precious time comparing ourselves to others. And just that last few words, if I have nothing else to be grateful for, that I don't waste precious time comparing myself to anyone else, not even to my younger self. Or my older self. I have people that say, I used to could wear a size 5 or a size whatever. And it's like, yeah, I used to wear a sunsuit as a baby, but I don't wear that anymore. Or, yeah, I used to wear diapers, but I don't use those anymore yet. I might when I get older. But my point is, it's not good to compare myself to anything or anyone because I'm just right here, right now, and this is what's going on. So I did want to talk to my favorite podcast person in the world. Who was so great. Her name is Emily. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Emily Ireland Cox, and I've been in the eating disorder recovery here with Beyond Hunger for, I was just counting, like probably almost 15 years now. And I'm a community organizer in the body positive and fat positive space here in Sacramento. And I do events for my day job, and I like to bring people together and connect people to resources. And, doing this work helps me shine my light a little bit for other people in these crazy times. So I'm grateful to be here today and be talking about this with you.
Yeah, so sweet. I am so grateful for that. So Wikipedia says gratitude Thankfulness or gratefulness is a feeling of appreciation or a similar positive response by a recipient of another's kindness. This kindness can be gifts, helps, favors, or another form of generosity to another person. So for me, I was told to be very grateful for everything I ever got when I was growing up, even if it was a spanking, that I should be grateful that somebody cared enough to hit me. So that was a really weird thing that I remember as a child. And I needed to be grateful for every morsel of food and every piece of clothing. And it was a lot of pressure on me when I was little. And then, so therefore, when I got older, then I just kept thinking that I needed to be grateful for everything, but I really wasn't. So that I felt terrible. And especially with an eating disorder, I was supposed to be grateful for every morsel of food I put in my mouth, but I freaking hated it. I hated it so much. And I was supposed to be, and I was supposed to be grateful for my body. I hated my body. So that whole thing about gratitude, like, just sort of didn't work for me. So I want to ask you about that, Emily. Like, how did gratefulness how did that show up in your life?
Gratefulness, I can definitely identify with being told to be grateful. I just, as a kid in the 80s, we just kept hearing there was starving children in Africa and you have to clean your plate. And there was food insecurity in my family as far as, having a single mom. We got paid once a month and, the end of the month was real slim. So a lot of stuff. So just grateful for that. And then you think, when you're in start recovery for eating disorder stuff, you're like, I'm grateful for what? All these traumatic experiences that created my eating disorder and skewed view on things. Yes, I'm so grateful for this. But, through the process of recovery and for eating disorder stuff and really getting into radical self-acceptance, I think was like learning that concept early on about just it is what it is. It's not good or bad. It starts with the food and then you can apply it to yourself. I'm not good or bad. My food isn't good or bad. It just is right here, right now. I think just that grounding in what it is helped me go from like a resentment to a gratitude. And then I became grateful to myself for asking for the help and stepping off the chaotic emotional diet roller coaster that I had been putting myself through in my youth and 20s. And then looking at it like I'm stopping the abuse I was perpetuating on my body and my soul as a reaction to things I couldn't control. So I became grateful for my self-fortitude and self-preservation that got me the help and support that I needed so that I was able to, heal that little girl inside and move on from the eating disorder and not have it be something that plagues me every day. Now it's so the self-gratitude, it was a journey. I was like, how can I be thankful for this right on? But through the work and early on, you start being grateful for your body and for yourself, for showing up for yourself, and showing up every day.
Yeah, I can remember when I first got into AA and there was a thing they would say, have an attitude of gratitude. I'd look around this room.
I remember that in OA too. I started in OA,
No, I don't.
I just have an attitude.
I don't have that attitude. I'm upset that I'm here.
I'm upset that I have this problem, that I can't seem to manage this like everybody else can.
Right. In the whole wide world, except for these people in this room and me.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then you learn to be grateful to others for sharing their experience so we can learn.
Absolutely. But it took a long time and it didn't just come like, boom, I'm so grateful. I would hear people say, hi, I'm Marianne and I'm a grateful addict and alcoholic. I'd be like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? you
Right.
know, but this many years later, thank goodness I had that
Yeah.
because I can handle stuff that I notice other people can't, or I've learned things that other people don't know, or,
Hmm.
well, now I'm comparing myself to others, but I mean, I just feel like I've gone through doors that people don't even know there's a door there.
Yes.
And
Yes.
whatever about them or whatever about that, I'm happy that I went through that door,
Yeah.
so uh
And
yeah,
grateful that we went through, that we walked through the door. We saw the door and we walked through it.
we walked through it, didn't even know that was a door. I just got kind of wrapped up in the whole thing and went.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I think about myself now, right now, I'm sure you've got maybe the same thing going on in your life where I am not afraid of Thanksgiving next week. Not at all.
No, not at all. Not,
Not a bit.
not in the way I was 20 years ago.
I mean, the only thing I'm kind of worried about is, well, is the turkey going to be dry? You know,
Right? Right?
so extra gravy. But I mean,
Right.
I'm like thinking to myself, I would dread this day.
Hmm.
And I would dread Christmas and New Year's and this
Mm.
whole season.
Yeah. Because that's, at home with the family that triggers your, the roots of where your eating disorder stuff come from, the
Yep.
people who make all those comments about your body or what's on your plate,
Yeah.
like a
Are you going to eat
minefield.
all that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you
Is
want to
that all
share?
you're going to eat?
You're gonna get seconds? Looks like your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
minefield sometimes.
yeah. So I used to have to really shuck and jive and go through a million changes in order to steel myself up about that.
Hmm.
And I felt like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this with you is how do you handle that? I mean, I know you still have this family and I know there's still these people around you that you work with, and not everybody is so recovered,
Right.
me either, not at all. And
Right.
I don't have any patience for the whole, oh, I shouldn't eat this, or, oh, I can't believe I ate that. I'm not, no patience for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you handle that?
Well, I was thinking back of how I started handling it and thinking about Thanksgiving was the time, like I said, where I would go be around the people who I had the most, like shame and insecurity about my food and size around.
Mm-hmm.
So in the early days when I was starting in recovery, even in my OA days before I found like intuitive eating and health at every size after eating disorder treatment, I was able in the early days I was able to start speaking up for myself. Like I was able to take what I like and leave the rest and just start tuning people out and just realize like I don't have to respond, I don't have to, engage. And then I started learning how to kind of speak up for myself in a way that would let people know that I didn't need their opinion and that I was working on my stuff and that I know what I'm doing and I don't appreciate, like how do I say something and stand up for myself without making a scene? So learning gently how to set up boundaries to protect myself. And then as the years have progressed, luckily my husband's side of the family is way more open minded and nobody says anything about other people's bodies in that family, which is nice. There's old food insecurities and boomers who are, who peck at their food and don't really eat much during the day. But anytime people bring stuff up at Thanksgiving now, I kind of make a joke about it. Like, there's no bad foods. We're here to radically love ourselves. It's the holidays. I kind of make like light of it and remind people because people. I just try to remind people that it's the holidays. You're not good or bad. This isn't about your body size. I just remind people that everybody's a good body. So I'm just throwing out like bumper stickers to get people to lighten up, and then I change the subject. Like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of my
Emily,
approach lately.
you're so brave. You're so
I used to just
brave.
want to cry and hide and not go
Yeah.
out to dinner,
Aw.
and hide my plate, or eat normal in front of everybody else and then binge when I'd get home. And I was like, I'm not
Oh,
going to do
that's what I
that.
used to do for
Yes.
sure.
So I'm going to make them uncomfortable, not me be the uncomfortable one later on.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my last Thanksgiving before I got recovery for
Hmm.
this. And I ate a huge meal at a friend's house. She gave me stuff to take home. I ate that on the way home. And when I got home, I ate 2 bowls of cereal.
Hmm.
And I felt so low
Hmm.
and so ashamed and so bad.
Yeah.
And I can just remember crying in the bathroom, like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? And I don't know, it just was such a, um, I just remember that young woman crying in the bathroom with my young son going, Mom, are you okay? I'm like,
Yeah.
I am so not okay, But
Hmm.
then it went up from there. I got recovery, and there was that early recovery stuff about, well, I'm going to teach everyone at the table how to do this. And then,
Hmm. Yeah.
you know, or, or I would just like not say anything at all. Like, I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Who's crying?
Right.
I'm not crying.
Right. Nobody's crying over the turkey here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I just was all over the place, and now I get to just be myself.
Yeah. And I was reminded that I also really try to focus on, in my own recovery, being like grateful and present and like really appreciating all the effort and time and love that people put into having this meal and putting it together, and thinking how lucky I am to have a family that I can get together with at the holidays.
No, I know.
And just, and trying to, and then that helps center me, like here and now, like this person made this wonderful food. I'm not going to nitpick over calories or shame or anything. I'm just going to be here, enjoy this food that these loving people provided, and whatever Thanksgiving or holiday meals look like for anybody, whether in my early days when I lived away from my family, it was just me and my hooligan friends, and then whoever our friends from the gay bars that didn't have a place to go for the holidays were all like alone up here in Sacramento. So I used to love more of like a friendsgiving and stuff. So
Yeah.
with family, it's like, man, if I'm not going to be with my friends on Thanksgiving, it's going to be family, then I better be grateful and it better be a good time. That's how I look at it these days. So, anyways, I just try to be real grateful for the food and the time and the people. And even if they say stupid things, and even in this political climate, you never know what people are going to say when everybody's all together in the same room. Just try to remind myself we're here for the food and the family.
Yeah.
I can go home after this. This isn't forever.
This isn't forever. This is a few hours out of my life.
Yeah.
And you're right. If I'm grateful that I even have a family that I'm around, or that I even have a house to live in, or even
Yeah.
have an oven that cooks food. And
Yeah.
uh,
Money to buy the groceries to contribute to the
yeah.
meal.
And when I first got, maybe in the first few years of my recovery from my eating disorder, I would think about everybody that grew or farmed or got this food to me,
Hmm.
like the grocery person, and and the car that drove me there, and the tree that grew the thing, and the land that, the sun that did that. And it was
Yeah.
sort of like I think Thich Nhat Hanh has a thing about, eat like you are really thanking the whole world for this one tiny little piece of fruit. Not only the fruit, but also the tree and the people who put that on your table, which could be me. But to be grateful for all that,
Yeah.
I had no clue that I should be grateful for that. It was a whip to beat myself up with. It
Oh,
wasn't a
yeah.
wonderful thing.
Yeah. The shamed gratitude.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
So, you have any, like, one of the things that we do at my house is we will sort of say one thing that you're grateful for this year.
Hmm.
And, sometimes it's, well, I'm really grateful for my dog.
There for me
And
every day.
sometimes it's a whole bunch of stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, so what are you grateful for this year? Do you know?
What am I grateful for this year? I'm grateful for uh, the body wisdom that I have now because I've done this work and that I continue to stay connected to doing this. So I'm grateful that during these wild times that have created a connection with myself and I trust myself. And, I think how grateful, because it would be easy to get wiped up in food insecurity and everything going
Yep,
on with the SNAP benefits and
for sure.
just, family I have that are struggling during this time. So just really grateful that I've done this work so I can be steady and calm and be a peaceful presence and that I can show up and help others during this time
Yeah,
and take care of myself first, actually, before I'm able to show up for others. So I'm
yeah,
grateful for that.
so much.
Yeah.
Ditto, ditto, ditto.
And my friends and my family in a warm bed and
Yeah, yeah.
a job and all
Yes,
that
and
great
a job.
stuff. Yeah.
Right.
But grateful I have this home within myself first because I didn't have that 20, 15 years ago
Me
at
too.
all. And
Me
this time
too.
of year would put me on just wasn't as calm and I'm able to handle the waves that come with the season now a little
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would be on a roller coaster from the 15th of October till the
Yeah.
15th of January. I would just be a a crazy person, a caged animal. I would
Yeah.
be
Absolutely.
insane the whole time.
Yeah.
And I
Triggered
think,
at every turn.
yes, triggered and upset and mad and
hmm
furious, and then like, extra happy, and then, it's like bipolar to the max kind of a thing
Yeah.
with no
Yeah.
medication,
hmm
and just
hmm
so, oh God. And I did not know how to get out of that at all. I had no, this is the way it is, this is the life I have right now, I guess.
hmm
But I think about like Rumi, I just pulled this up,
Hmm.
where Rumi, love him so much,
Oh yeah.
gratitude for him, wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life.
Mm.
Isn't that like, and not in a mean or nasty way or like, oh, you're not very grateful, but
Yeah.
just have that heart opening
Yeah.
of letting that feed you in every possible way, body, mind, and spirit. I mean,
That's
so,
such a good reminder and way to
it
think
is
about it.
such a good reminder.
Yeah. One little thing I've been really trying to practice with my friends is, we try to just stay in touch with what's happening in the world, but, not keep our head in the sand. But, when we start kind of spiraling or getting negative about what's happening, we just will start instantly. Like if I'm complaining about something, I'll be like, but I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for you and I'm grateful that we're
Uh,
here. Like we just,
yes.
we'll just like shift
Step
gears
back
quickly
and
to be
look.
like, okay,
Yeah.
what can we
Yeah.
control? What are we grateful for? So
Yes.
we're inserting some assertive gratitude sometimes
Yes.
is what's needed during these times. So
And the
use it as needed.
idea of, yes, and the idea of being grateful for the experience, good or bad, black or white, right or wrong.
hmm
Like, I learned something from everything.
Yeah.
I had a death in my family, and I was able to tell that person how grateful I was for them.
That's,
And I had never had that conversation with that person, ever, ever. Too shy, too like, oh, it'll just crack our world wide open. I don't want to do that.
can't be vulnerable.
Too vulnerable. We'd rather
Yeah.
jump out of a window than be vulnerable with each other.
Yeah.
So just to sit there and just say, I'm so grateful for you in my life, and list things that I was grateful for, which I didn't even know I had all that until I started to talk about it.
Yeah.
And anyway, so it's such a beautiful time of year to have that gratitude about that,
For sure.
which I didn't really think that much about it, Emily, when I was trying to recover or eat or any, I just sort of like went along with the program. Oh, Thanksgiving, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Pilgrims, I don't know, turkey. I don't know what that's about, but
Right. And
whatever.
then we decolonize our mind about it. And then we're like, okay, well, it's just a holiday where we get together with family and friends.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah. No, it's good to have those moments with people. And then sometimes you think like, oh, it's sad we shouldn't have to wait until the end of our time
till they're
together to be able to
dying.
be
Right.
that, right? You know,
Right.
just real quick, I had a friend that was going through recovery and their therapist recently had them like trying to have them realize the connections they have in their life and try to kind of get these conversations going while this person's here, and asked each close of their friends to write them a little letter saying what they mean to them and what their friendship has meant. So
Oh,
it's like, that's a really vulnerable thing. But I wrote this letter to a
oh,
friend and we were able to have this really sweet moment and they had this connection with their closest friends. And I was like, just like that moment, I was like, well, I'm really glad we didn't have to wait till the ends of our lives to say these things to each other. So it's
I
good to have
love
these moments.
that.
Yeah.
You reminded me of that, Emily. I was just going along with, well, I'll wait till the end of my life. And now I'm thinking that's not a good idea.
Right. Tell people now that you love them and that you're grateful for them. We can enjoy it.
Oh,
So it's
I
a good
am
reminder for
so
me.
grateful for you.
Grateful for you.
Yeah.
Grateful you asked me to be on your podcast again. This is so great. It's a good reminder this season
Yes,
here.
it is. It's going to change our day today.
It is.
So I wonder if you would read the last part of the card
Yeah.
of the goddess jumping from one cliff to another.
Yes. Trust in the
Right in the
process.
middle. Right.
Yeah.
Process.
All right. Today I will practice trusting my process and knowing that I am right where I need to be on my path. I'll practice viewing each situation as a learning experience and will be loving and accepting with myself as I move along my path.
Oh, yes, please. More of that, please.
More of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
more of that.
Yeah.
So, any last minute words of wisdom?
Just that even when you don't think you might have anything to be grateful for yourself. Start there. And
Yes.
I think I know it sounds cheesy and but just having like a daily practice of gratitude, or like I said, when you're with your friends, if you find yourself complaining,
Yeah.
just flip the switch a little bit if you can, because it's too easy to slip into the darkness right now, and we need all the lights we can get from us soft, tender-hearted people who care and love so much. So don't let the bastards get you down. Stay grateful. Just
stay grateful for any little thing that there is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Every
well, thank you so much, Emily.
My pleasure, Laura. Thank you for all the work you do as well.
Yeah, you too. And yeah, so we'll talk, but just know how much I love you.
Thanks. I love you too.
Okay.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
You too. Bye.
Thank you for listening. You can find me on all the social medias at It's Not About Food. And if you would like to get the show a week early and ad-free, you can become a member at Patreon. Search It's Not About Food podcast. Thanks so much.